All right, just waiting to see. There we go. Hey guys. I only need one mic. Mic, earbud, same difference. Hey everyone. So today what just happened to my voice? Today we are going to be talking Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I have some notes, but before I get started, I want to welcome everyone in. Monarch Moments, if you're still here. Yes, Garrett, you are Harry Potter expert. And Piglet Roo, welcome in. And Kenzie. Hey, thanks guys so much for popping on. I know Mama's doing her craft and chat, which I just left over there to come over here and do some Harry Potter talk. So whoever pops in, thank you so much. Hey, Amy. Yeah, that was a quick change. I don't know how I just managed that, but I definitely did, by the grace of God. So we're just going to do, I'm not really going to have a whole lot to talk about today. Just going to talk about hey, Karen, welcome in. Good to see you. We're just going to do a little talk. Next week, hey, Mama. Oh, Mama, now that you're here, I have to do something. And I see my friend Megan's backstage, so I'm going to let her on in a minute, but I'm going to do something real quick. Okay. So, Mama Mouse, if you guys don't know, Myers and the Mouse in the chat right now, she is also live doing a craft and chat, which is what I just left to come over here to do the Harry Potter stream. And I love her craft and chat so much. I actually toyed with the idea of putting Harry Potter off again, but it's been 2 weeks, so I figured the show must go on. So I have my friend Megan backstage. I'm going to bring her on. Hey, Meg.
Hi.
Can't hear you. There you are. We have sound. So this is Megan, for those that don't know. She's one of my good friends. She is another Harry Potter aficionado. I don't know, whatever you want to say. She loves Harry Potter. So Megan is going to be a senior in high school come in the fall. And she does plays, and she is just, as you can see, the Wizard of Oz is on her t-shirt. She is just wonderful. And I love talking to her about Harry Potter. And I'm just excited to have her on the show. And I'm going to switch the screen because I hate this view. Okay, that's so much better. So first, I want to thank Dean at the Live Place. If you guys don't know, Caitlin, welcome in. Caitlin, Megan's sister, who said she's a Harry Potter craze fan. If anyone would know, it's definitely Kate. So I forgot where I was. Yes, Dean at the Live Place. If you guys don't know, check out www.theliveplace.com for all your TV guide, YouTube needs. Dean is just amazing. He has put together this entire list of YouTube channels and the times they go on. And if you need a TV guide for YouTube, that's the place to go. More specifically, I think geared towards Disney and community that eccentric. I mean, maybe not. There's probably others that are out there, but Diz and that's an actual show, channel. So this and that, we'll say. And I'm rambling. This is what happens when you leave me to myself, Megan. All right, guys. We're going to get into Harry Potter. So we're talking the Chamber of Secrets. I have a bunch of notes that I wrote down. What I was doing before was books. Yeah, the book versus the movie. And Meg, Mama Mo says, it's great to meet you. Myers and the Mouse, we call...
Hi, it's great to meet you too.
We call her Mama Mouse, just so you know. That's when you hear me say Mama Mouse, that's what I'm talking about. That's who I'm talking about, actually. So, Chamber of Secrets. There's a lot. I mean, I skimmed through the books, and I watch the movies a lot more than I read the books, but I read the books 3 or 4 times. And I find that every time I come to this book, there is it's the main thing for me that I really feel like the movie left out was, so the biggest difference for me, so we're going to talk differences or similarities, either or, both, whatever, that we liked in either the books and the movies, like just in the books or like just in the movies, or both, whatever. And so my thought was the beginning of the book when Harry is rescued from his bedroom and he's taken to the Burrow with the Weasleys. Just that whole world of him seeing what a magical home looks like, for me, was like it. That was such, for me, the movies really, they touched on it a little bit, like with the clock, which I love the clock. Oh, I love a clock like that.
Yeah, the clock.
Oh my gosh, I love the clock. But you're missing things like the denoming the garden, and the little homey details with the Weasleys that Harry never got to enjoy growing up, in direct contrast to his life with the Dursleys. I feel like that they did touch a little bit on, but they really could have done more with those details. I mean, I know it's a movie and you try to compact things, and I get it, but that they really could have put more time and effort into making the scene a little bit more elaborate for me. That was just, so that's my first thing. I don't know, Megan, if you have anything that you want to discuss. Let's try to talk correctly.
Well, for me, back on the Burrow, I like when we got to see it, because like at first we didn't know what it looked like, and even though it wasn't as elaborate as the books paint it to be, we still got to see that little like smidgen of it, and I really like that we got to see that little bit of it.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm always so negative with these things. All these movies, they could have did this, but they did. They showed what they did of it, and they did it up. Hey, Mike, welcome in. I put a spell on you. Poof, you're a balloon. I have no words for that one, Mike. That was a really good one. Poof. What color balloon would I be if I was a balloon? Okay, we're not gonna focus. I would be a Gryffindor color balloon because I'm a Gryffindor. There we go. How's that? Stay focused, sort of. So yeah, what they did show in the movies, it kind of wet your whistle a little bit for but I think it was just really the denoming the garden part that I would have loved to have seen them put the little gnomes in there, like what they kind of like in the third book when you kind of get introduced to the Cornish pixies. No, it's this book with the Cornish pixies. So how they did the Cornish pixies. Oh, good, I'm in the same book. Yay. So what they did, if you have to mute your mic, Meg, feel free.
Okay.
So what they did with the Cornish pixies, is that my baby Piper?
No, it's the cat.
Oh, bummer. Okay. Anyways, Megan has a lot of cute animals. Are really cute. Hey, Blaine, welcome in. Good to see you. Hey, Tori, welcome in. Good to see you too. I'm sorry, guys. I'm skipping on chat. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So, and there goes my train of thought again, because I don't have a good handle on it as it is. So like what they did with the Cornish pixies, how we were able to see those, I kind of feel like they really could have, I would have loved to have seen the gnomes. And I kind of get stuck on that with the gnomes. Hey, Ed, Mindy, welcome, Viapre Project. Good to have you in. So I'm going to move on. Again, we discussed this the last time we were talking about the Philosopher's Stone, dare I say, the British version. No, Peeves. I miss Peeves. Peeves, oh, they just... And the other big thing for me was the Death Day party, which is what led them to... So they didn't show the Death Day party in the book. I mean, in the movie. It was something else that they were coming from. And is that your mom? She heard me. There's my Piper. Guys, this is Piper.
Yes, she heard that you wanted to see her.
I love Piper. My little Piper. No, she's not. It's not in here. Hold on one second, guys. It's not in here. You want to come say hi to Megan? The stream's gone wild, guys. Stream's gone wild.
Hi, Megan.
This is a free for all at this point. Harry Potter, what?
I don't know. Get out.
Hey, Jonathan, Sean, welcome in. Good to see you. All right, so you know what? How about this? I will ramble on my list, and Megan, raise your hand if you want to chime in. How's that?
Okay, hang on. So yeah, I would have really liked to see Peeves in the movies because he was just so funny.
Yeah, he was. Did you just throw in your cat?
I gently tossed her to the side.
You tossed her.
But no,
I
like
hope he is not watching this.
Peeves was such a funny character, and like I know we're talking about Chamber of Secrets right now, but seeing him in the 5th movie with like the unscrewing the chandelier and just like doing these things to make Umbridge mad would have been so funny to see in the movie.
Yes, that's a good point. That's a good point. Peeves. How do you leave Peeves out? Oh my goodness. Yeah, he was such an. In fact, I almost love reading the books just for Peeves. You know, just for the comic. He brings it to life for me.
He was such a funny character.
Yeah, he is. Like in fact, I go around the house quite often when the kids are bad, and I catch them and I try to say in the voice, "Naughty, naughty, you'll get caughty." On the first book, and I say, and my kids are looking at me like, what? Because they haven't read the books, they've seen the movies, but there's no Peeves, so they don't get that part of it. But you know, I have a nice chuckle to myself, and then I move on. But so yeah, the other thing for me was the Death Day party. So Nicholas from the Flamel throws his Death Day party, and they go, and I love when they go and they get there, and all the food is like. It's not stuff that humans eat.
Especially because like in the book it says like they get there and they're starving and they can't wait to eat, and then they walk in and it's like they can't eat it.
Yeah. It's like what? Yeah. I mean, that's awful because it's a bunch of ghosts, and ghosts don't eat human people. Hey, Danny Griswold, family vacay, welcome in. I almost had a tongue twister on my hands for a moment. I apologize. So yeah. So that was the other thing for me, because the Death Day party, that actually is what leads to them finding the throwing cats on stream. Is what? Where is it? What where they find? Was it the first writing on the wall? Was that the first occurrence of the writing on the wall? Okay.
Yeah.
So that was it for me. Hey Garrett, welcome in Monarch Moments. So, yeah, I mean, it's fine that they switched it around, but I really enjoyed that scene in the book with the Death Day party. It would have been cool to see how they would set that up in the movies, but, you know, they did.
I feel like there's a lot in the books that they didn't put in the movies that were just such cool scenes that it would have been so cool to actually see with your eyes. It would have been amazing.
Right. Yeah. So the other thing for me was the details about Filch being a squib, as they call it in the books.
Yeah.
He's not, you know, he's born into a magic family, but he possesses no magical abilities whatsoever. And I mean, the little bit, I think it was in the movies where Harry finds an envelope, and if you pause it, you can almost try to read what it says, and it gives the hint towards, but it doesn't, the movies don't really fully elaborate, or at all elaborate, I don't think, on Filch not being able to perform magic.
Yeah, and the fact that he's a squib is the whole reason why he hates the kids, because he can't perform magic like they can.
That's right. There's the whole jealousy factor there, which is, it's pretty huge, you know. Yeah. Why is Filch the way he is? Well, you don't really get a taste of that in the movies, but the book explains it.
Right.
Kind of stinks, but yeah. So also in the book, it's Professor. The other detail that got me was the fact that it's Professor Binns, not Professor McGonagall, that tells the kids about the Chamber of Secrets. And in fact, in the movies, you don't even, I think, even get a wisp of Professor Binns at all. I think he was completely left out. And I don't know that it would have been such a big deal. But in order to keep with the movie storyline, I think that's why they went with Professor McGonagall and just left him out completely.
I mean, on one hand, I understand that, like, maybe putting Binns in would kind of make that part of the movie a little boring, because his class is supposed to be boring. But, it makes sense that he would explain it, because he has history of magic. So it makes sense that he would explain it to the kids, because he's explaining the history.
Right. That's a good point. Yeah, because it is the history class. Yeah. Well, all right. So the other thing for me is Lucius Malfoy, which is Draco's father, and Mr. Weasley fight in the beginning of the book at Flourish and Blots. In the book, you get in the movie, you get like a little disagreement or an argument, but in the books, you get like a full-out brawl,
Yeah. And in the books, you get to see more of his father's personality, too.
That's true.
I mean, you get to see it in the first book when he's, like, talking to Harry. Or no, it is in the second book, actually, when he's talking to Harry and he frees Dobby. But, like, it just... You have to kind of understand why he's like that. Like, you get to see him in the first and you're like, oh, he's mean. And then you see him at the end of the movie and you remember that he's mean. But in the movies, you just kind of see him and you're like, oh, he's mean. Like,
yeah. I think it's interesting because when you do get a taste of Lucius Malfoy, you can see where his son gets it. The complete, arrogant. He thinks he's the bee's knees and he's just outright evil and nasty. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the other thing is when Harry gets into Tom Riddle's diary, who he sees in the book is Professor Dippet, not Professor Dumbledore.
Yeah.
And with the movies, you get Professor Dumbledore. And back then, it was Professor Dippet who was the headmaster of the school, not Professor Dumbledore. I think that it is important because for me, that's like the foreshadowing that you get from is it the 6th book where Harry sees all the back visions of Voldemort? Yeah. And you get the understanding of the timeline. I think it sets up the timeline for me of when, leading up to Professor Dumbledore becoming headmaster. Abby, welcome to the stream. Good to see you. Abby rocks. So, yeah, you know what, guys? By the way, I'm forgetting to do this. Just so you know, we're discussing The Chamber of Secrets. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets is the second book / second movie. If anybody wants to come in, I'm going to post a link. Feel free to come on board and come chat with us. This is literally just come hop on with us and come and chat. My thought process out the window again. I do this every time. Guys, I have ADHD. You probably know that. I can't stay focused to save my life. Leanne Helmer, welcome in. My friend and Megan's mom.
The thing with Dumbledore talking to Tom in the second book is when they're talking in the 6th book, Harry and Dumbledore, and he shows Harry like Voldemort's past, and he goes back to when he saw him in the memory, and he's like, oh, you were trying to keep an eye on him. And like in the movies, he's not there, so Harry doesn't really get that fact that he's trying to get an eye on him. He's trying to watch him.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Michelle the Quilter, welcome in. She says, hello ladies, looking forward to this. My daughters grew up with the books. We've read them all and I've seen all the movies too. That is awesome, Michelle the Quilter. I'm so glad you are able to join us. So, guys, again, I posted the link. I just can't talk. I posted the link. If anybody would like to join in and talk with us, please feel free. Yeah. So, the next scene that I wanted to touch on was Ginny throughout the book, where she's trying to warn Harry, and you can see even the books, because they're so descriptive, you can see how Voldemort taking over her, how worn down she gets, and how
how much it takes a toll on her.
it's a toll on her, exactly. And it's the same thing in the first book with Professor Quirrell having her, Voldemort attached to his body, and how much it wore him down as well. So, like, the pattern of Voldemort is draining. He is a blood-sucking leech, draining leech, and he bleeds you dry. And it really shows you the depth of just how evil and despicable this man is. Just by and she's so she's sitting there at one point with Harry, and she's trying to tell him, and then Percy comes in, and Percy's having his own. That's the other thing with the books, is Percy's having his own little issues going on, because he's dating Penelope Clearwater, which she comes from a non-magical background, and I think he's feeling a little bit embarrassed by. Is that what it was, or he was trying to hide it? So that really fit in with the theme of the book too, because what's happening is, Josephine left. Caitlin, I'll tell her you said hi after. So what's happening is, what is happening? Because there goes my thought again. Oh my gosh, I clearly cannot have a live stream. So train of thought, Percy Weasley. What's happening is, you have the snake that's been released by the chamber, by the Tom Riddle, through Ginny Weasley, who's opened up the Chamber of Secrets and let out the serpent. And the big old castle serpent is making noises through the pipes. He's slithering, literally, through the pipes. And and I think it's Ginny Weasley who's, excuse me, is it her own blood that she's writing on the wall, or is it? I think it was her own blood, right?
I think it was the chicken's blood.
That's right, the chicken's blood.
Yeah.
That's right. So, in any case, she's writing on the wall these messages in blood. Totally creepy, right? But
especially for an 11-year-old.
Right. And yeah, exactly. At 11. That's like, I don't know. Okay. Sorry. And so the drasticness of that is that this snake was created to take down anybody that was not born into a magical family and petrify them, or worse, because if you found a way to look at the snake not directly, if you looked at it directly in the eyes, it would kill you. But each of these petrifications, I think I just created a word. Each of these things, Danny, if you want to pop on and get an education, if you could, feel free to do that too. So each of these things that are happening to people that are born in not magical families, which they call, the derogatory term in the book, in the movies, is called mudblood. And I said there's not another name for it besides the derogatory term, is there?
They're called muggleborns.
Muggleborn, thank you. I'm like, my brain just like went blank. So muggleborns is what they're called if you are not born into a magical family, but you are magical yourself, and that's what you're called. So it's those people that are being attacked. So the severity of Percy dating a Muggle-born, that was the word I've been looking for the whole time, makes him embarrassed. And you don't get that in the books, I mean in the movies at all. You just, it kind of skims over that, which I think is also important because that also to me leads up to the later books when Percy, you see his allegiance with wanting to be a ministry pleaser and being the, you know, uppity hoity-toity, you know, almost kind of putting him along the same lines as the Malfoys, if you kind of think about it, because it's like he like disowns his family. Hold on one second. So he almost disowns his family just to be on the side that he thinks is the better side, should I say, or the more powerful side.
The thing with Percy is he always wants to be like at the top. He wants to have the best opportunities, and he doesn't care who he hurts in the process.
That's it. It's more like it. Yeah. It's like climb your way to the top and not care who you step on the way up there.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's Percy in a nutshell. Although he does turn himself around, but we'll get into that later streams. All right, so moving on. It's already 2:30. I cannot believe that. Okay. So I don't really have much more to go. This is pretty good. Yeah, you got the little minor detail that really irked me was in the movies when they're riding the car to Hogwarts and Harry falls out of the car. He doesn't fall out of the car in the books.
Yeah.
And that just really irked me. I mean, it was good for like aesthetics to see, you know, he's hovering over the train and he's dangling, but
I kind of feel like they put that part in there just to make the scene a bit more interesting.
Right. You know, someone's kind of like, let's just ramp this up a little bit. Which I think any scene that they do that to is a disservice to J.K. Rowling. It's like a slap in the face to say your book wasn't entertaining enough, and so we need to add to it. That's why I kind of hate all the little things that they added. I mean, there was a couple of things that I did like here and there. But for the majority, I kind of feel like if you're making an adaptation of a book to movie, I feel like stay as true as you possibly can to give patronage, give that that credit where credit is due to the author. And I know when you make a movie, you want to make it your own, and that's why there's been like 1,000 adaptations of all these different books, and I'm sure there'll be more adaptations of Harry Potter in the future. I wouldn't put it past anybody. But it's like, I don't know, just don't do a disservice to the writer of the book because it was their brainchild, their baby, you know, it was something that they put their heart and soul into. And, you know, I don't know. That's just, what do you think?
I definitely feel like, I mean, if the scene is boring, I can understand that they want to make it more interesting so that people will still like watch it because they want views and stuff. But I feel like you said, when you're making a book to movie adaptation, you want it to be as true to the book as possible. Because if you're not, then you're not really telling the actual story. Like, you're just putting in parts that were not in the actual story that the author put in.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree 100%. All right, so I'm just going to take a little peek at chat because I don't want to neglect chat. Mike Polito, welcome in. Good to see you. Abby says that she's in the car right now. When she gets home, maybe she'll join. Feel free, Abby. I'll post a link again. And who else did I miss? Let's see. Oh, I want to do this just because I know how to do this now. Little quotes up there with that. Yeah, Garrett, we all have to get back into a better schedule. I totally failed that one. Tell your dad Lana wants to know how the ice cream sandwiches turned out. Oh. We had ice cream sandwiches. Did no one tell anybody? Come on. Where was the memo? Already read that. I was thinking about joining, but it would not look good on a phone. Probably better on a computer. Yeah, I tried to do Mama Mouse's stream the other day on the phone, and it was so glitchy. But I mean, if you want to join on the phone, feel free. I mean, you can give it a go. And yeah, Amy's, if you turn the phone sideways, it would look okay too. And Mike Polito says, do you need any more mods? No, Mike, I think I'm good on mods. I actually think I have more mods than people that have subscribed to my channel, because I go mod crazy, just because I love all you guys. But I'm gonna put a halt on it at the moment. Let me see what else. I think that's it. Okay, I think I'm pretty much caught up on chat. Now, how do I get rid of unshow? Okay. Just because I wanted to be able to put some things up there. They're cute. And yeah, your mom, Megan, Leanne Helmer says, keep it real. Yeah, keep the books, keep it as true and as real as possible. I agree with that too. All right. Okay. Moving on. That's my thought process. So the other little nitpick thing, because I feel like some of these are just nitpicks, but also maybe not so much, because they, every little detail that she puts in the book is an important detail, and it's like, for me, it's foreshadowing, and it leads up to things. But that's something that they left out, that they didn't put in the movies, is they had it during the game when Harry is being attacked by the bludger, and it had it where Hermione did the spell to protect Harry, but it was the Weasley brothers who I think were the ones that protected him from it, or something like that. I know that they played a bigger role in, I forget how it happened exactly, but see, like I said, a little nitpicky thing, but
I really think that scene where she slowed him down, his falling, I think that scene really was one of the scenes that showed off how Hermione was like the brightest witch of her age, and she was like so smart, and she knew how to do these things that most wizards her age couldn't do. And like in the movie it doesn't show that, but in the books it shows like, oh look, she's so smart, she can do this most wizards her age couldn't.
Yeah, that's true. She was literally the brightest witch of her age, quoting Professor Lupin. But that's the third book. I'll save that. So yeah. Oh, the other thing that, oh my gosh, did I love this in the book so much. I obsessed over this part, was where Ginny, it was Ginny that sent the Valentine to Harry.
Yes, I was going to talk about that. Yeah.
So go ahead. Why don't you talk about it?
I did not like how that was not in the movies. That was honestly such a funny scene. Mm-hmm. And like it happened like right in front of this whole group of students. Harry's embarrassed, she's embarrassed, and honestly it was such a funny scene. And it, even though the book has more like a sinister kind of thing where like the snake is petrifying people and could kill somebody and it has killed somebody in the past, it's like, here, have this funny scene, lighten the mood up. And I loved that scene in the book, and I could not believe it was not in the movie.
Yeah, I agree. That was such a disservice to not put that in, because like I'm more obsessed with, I'm actually obsessed, but I'm more interested in the love, not connection, then connection-ish type thing between Harry and Ginny than I am with Ron and Hermione. Although I really adore the interactions between Ron and Hermione too, especially leading up to the last book. Mm-hmm. But it's really, for me, it was like Harry and Ginny. That's the connection that I really liked. I just enjoyed seeing develop throughout the books. no, whatever it was. And that for me was the kickoff for it. For me was because I don't think at the beginning of the book when yes, I think at the beginning of the book when Ginny comes downstairs and she sees Harry and she gets all like tongue tied. That more was the kickoff for me because that was like, okay, someone had a crush.
Because really the only like parts where we can tell that she actually does like him in the second book is that scene with the singing Valentine, and in the book she turns and runs away. Yep. But in the movie, I think she like hides behind her mother. And those two parts really show that she's got a crush on him and she likes him. And then as the books go on, it kind of goes away, but like we still know that she liked him because of those two scenes, and that really set the stage for she likes him.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. They could have. I mean, in the movies, they just kind of left you with the beginning, where, you know, and I that one drives me crazy. It's like, have you seen my jumper? It's on the cat.
So that used to upset me too until I figured something out. In the second movie where they're going to Diagon Alley to get like their books and stuff, above the fireplace there's a hook that's shaped like a cat, and that's where the jumper was hanging. But you don't really get to see it unless you actually look at it. I actually saw a post on Facebook that pointed it out, and then I saw it in the movie.
I'm gonna have to watch it.
You really don't get that line until you see the hook.
Right. Because my whole thought was, why would the jumper be on the cat? And I know a jumper in English is different. It's like not what Americans would think is a jumper. And I forget what it really is, but
I think it's like a sweater or something.
Yeah, it's like a sweater. It's like I'm picturing like this whole jumpsuit, it's like this onesie type thing, and it's like shallow, feeble mind of mine. But so the last thing I have, no one already touched on it. See, I touched on it before I even read it. I just kind of led into it. Was Percy Weasley and acting weird. I mean, honestly, so this book, I think, besides the beginning of the book I absolutely love, I think also at the beginning of this book is also when they're outside playing Quidditch in the backyard and stuff, right? Is there where Ginny's playing with them and everything. That's probably my favorite part out of the whole book. And I know next week is when I'm supposed to talk about what we liked and we didn't like, but just to get into what this is probably, this might be my least favorite book out of all of them, maybe, except for the beginning part, I want to say. But you know what? That's what I'm going to say now. I bet if I went back and reread it, I bet I would change my mind. But no, I mean, I really, because I love how Dobby gets freed. I love the fact that Dobby gets freed because he is so essential to the rest of the plot line as well. And I'm so glad that they did not leave him out, because that would have been absolutely awful to leave Dobby out. Because he is just one of the most essential characters in the series. And I think they did leave him out of one of the movies. Was it the fourth movie? I don't think. Because that's.
Yes, he gave Harry the gillyweed, but in the movies it was Neville.
It was Neville. That's right. And the whole. Oh, we'll talk about that in future ones, but I can't. I'm going crazy right now. So, that's just my take on it. That was everything that I had thought about. Megan, do you have anything else that you want to share?
So back in the one scene where it's the Weasleys playing Quidditch, that's the one part it's not in the movie, but it's the one part in the book where we really start to see Percy's personality, because we really don't interact with him much in the first book. I mean, he comes and he yells at them for being in the corridors and stuff, and you know that he's like kind of prissy and uptight. But in the second book, when they're playing Quidditch, he opens his window and he starts shouting about his work, and they have to keep it down because he's working on his work. And that's where you see that he's a workaholic.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true too. That's a good point. Yeah, they'll leave out the tiny little minute details that really aren't so minute. But, coming from someone who saw the movies before she read the books, when I went back and read the books, I know I've said this before, but when I went back and read the books, I was like, why did they leave this out of the movies? It would have just made the movies for me make so much more sense. So as someone that watched the movies before reading the books, when I read the books, the movies actually made more sense to me, and I actually understood. So I think that they could have did a better job of making the connections, not just connections from one movie to the other, but within their own movie. So Abby says, I feel like Harry liked Cho until fifth year when Umbridge was the defense against the dark arts teacher. After that, I feel like he noticed Ginny more. Yeah, when did we get introduced to Cho? Was that?
I believe it was the fourth book.
I think so too.
I think so.
Yeah, I think Abby's right about that. I think.
Yeah.
Because it's after the fifth book is really when. Oh my gosh, that's right.
Yeah.
Well, we'll save that. We'll save that for the future books because as we get more into the next book. So the Prisoner of Azkaban is right up at the top of my list with if I could probably pick two books, I don't think I could pick two books. It's really, the fourth book really isn't my favorite either. So it's more like the third, fifth, sixth, and seventh are really up at the top of my list. And so that's pretty good, top list considering the fact that there are only 7 books. But yeah. Your mom says she likes your Harry Potter house flags in the background.
Yes. I gotta have my house closest to my bed, so I have the Ravenclaw. And then I got Gryffindor over here, and then the Hufflepuff and Slytherin are over there. That's mom got them for Christmas.
So I'm missing one Ravenclaw. So Dougie, who joined me for the first book, he's also a Ravenclaw. So I lost one Ravenclaw, hopefully temporarily, and gained another Ravenclaw. So that's wonderful. Your Ravenclaws are just spot on. But yeah, so next week we'll talk about 15 minutes early, guys. So I think I'll show you a little bit of what I'm working on right now. Next week we'll talk about favorite quotes and things that we kind of really discussed. So I think next week we'll talk about favorite quotes and what our favorite parts of either the books or the movies are, and we'll do the trivia. So I'll show you what I have for the prize for next week. It's going to be really cool. It's not Harry Potter. One thing is Harry Potter. The other thing is Disney. So, and I keep finding these things, and I'm getting slightly excited about it. So I'm going to show you guys what I'm working on right now. So, I also make charm bracelets for those that don't know. And right now I have a whole bunch of Harry Potter charms that I'm working on. And this is just one of the charms. And another one. So this is what I was working on Mama Mouse's Craft and Chat before I hopped over here. And if she's still on, hopefully she'll have me back and I'll finish. Well, I'll do them when I'm not on there either. I don't know if you can see the glare and the blur. Focus. Not going to focus. I'll just show you my flabby arms, not blabby. My mouth is blabby. My arms are flabby. Let's just get that right, Tina. But I love these little.
Oh, that's pretty.
Charms. And this one's my favorite. course I showed you this side. That's not Mischief Managed.
Oh,
Put the Marauders in that feet. Hogwarts Express. And then this one is definitely, it says, after all this time, always. And I really wish that was focused. But, so I'm just kind of, and I have more charms than that too. Those are just the ones. Like I have like the little broomsticks and I have like a train. So I'm starting to make, and the dragon. How did I forget the dragon? My favorite mythical creature is a dragon. Hello. Stay still long enough. Stay focused. So I love these things. So I just got these charms in, and I originally sent them to my grandmother's house by accident because over Christmas, I had put their address in because I also needed to ship some things over there because I was going to be there by the time they got there. So I had them shipped there. And thank you, Danny. Okay, Abby, we're still on for like about another 10 minutes if you just want to come pop on. And so finally my uncle had them shipped to my house and I got all the charms. And so I'm like, I did not realize that the majority of the charms that I had gotten are Harry Potter, but I have like, my gosh, what I have. I also have, this has turned into the Tina's Craft, so thank you. I also got these guys, wands, but they're huge, so I think I'm going to turn these into a keychain or a necklace. But they're supposed to be wands, and I thought they were a lot smaller than they are, but they're huge. But so this has turned into the craft stream, guys. I'm so sorry. Just to show you what I have, I also have Doctor Who charms that I'm gonna start making things out of, and Sleeping Beauty. Yeah, this is my brain. Star Wars. So this is what I've been doing, and so one of the shops that I got some of the charms from, as a thank you, she sent me some Patronus antlers, a sword, and some lightning bolts, which I thought were so cute. And I think I'm going to save these for myself and make earrings out of them because they're so cute. Or I'll give them away as a yes, thank you, Peanut Gallery gift. That's Madeline. So, anyways, I guess I will talk briefly about what's coming up this week. Oh, Amy says, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask questions because I just have 10 minutes left and I think Abby might want to hop on. So, so I was reading the question. Have you gone to Universal to check out the Harry Potter areas? I have not. So when we took our Disney trip in September, I wanted to do Universal, but it just time did not allow for it. And so I think we were going to add it to this trip, but I think this trip is going to be pushed out to next year too. So, which is good because then that gives us more time to prep and plan. And so that's definitely on the agenda for next trip is to go to Universal because I have to see it. I mean, right, Meg?
I've never been to Universal. I've never been anywhere in Florida. But my parents are definitely planning on bringing me and my sister sometime before I graduate. So kind of looking forward to that.
I'm hoping that. Okay, hold on. Let me post the. Give us a link here. I can post it here, right? That's my stream. I should be able to. Let me know if that went through. Oh yeah, it should have went through. Claws. Yeah, that. Thanks, Garrett. Garrett likes Madeline's shirt. It says claws. I have a question. Is anybody else's stream blurry or is it just mine? Because I don't know if it's just my internet or if it's just what's going on. Oh, there's Abby. Hi. Good to see you.
See you too.
So, Abby, this is my friend Megan. Megan.
Hi.
Abby.
Hi.
Hi.
And Abby is, for those that don't know, I think it might just be you, Megan doesn't know. Abby is the daughter of Jeff and Angela from their channel, Does Our Dream.
Yes.
And she's another big Harry Potter fan.
Yes.
So, Abby, we got about 8 minutes left. I want to get your take on this book. What did you like or not like about this book? What are some things that you think the movies missed on? I mean, what do you think? I know you were typing in the chat, but now that you're here.
Okay, so I can't remember the last time I read the book, so I'm not exactly completely sure on like the small details. I think it was maybe last year I read the book again. Mm-hmm. But there's certain things that like were in the movies that like they didn't put in the book, so they changed that I'm not sure how I liked or so. There's a lot of like small details in the books that they missed as well. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to think because I haven't seen the movie or the book in a while. So
I know it's hard.
Think about like small details.
Out of sight, out of mind, I feel like. But you were doing great at Harry Potter trivia the other day in Amy's stream. I mean, between the two of us, it was, and who else was in there? Was it? Darn it, I forgot who else. It was, and it's on the tip of my tongue. Amy, if you remember, type it in the chat. Who else was up there with us? But that was amazing. I love doing Harry Potter trivia with anybody really, but it's like.
It's more fun when people know what they're talking about because it's more of a challenge.
Exactly. I enjoy the challenge, and it's funny because my husband always jokes. He's like, they're going to kick you out of their streams because, it's like we're always head to head. But it's like, no, this is great to just fun and interact. And when it's more challenging, it's more enthralling and it grips you. And, it's like, and you get more excited and you're like, when you're neck and neck with someone. Avery, that's who it was. It was Avery. But I mean, that it was just a lot of fun. I enjoy any kind of trivia. Hi, Jeff Orange board.
Oh, that's my dad.
that's okay. He's trying to trick us all. I'm like,
that's my dad. That's his separate like personal account, I guess.
Oh, okay, I get it. Jeff, welcome in. Jeff, welcome in. Thank you, Michelle the Quilter. I appreciate that. I'm gonna just. Everyone's saying hi to Abby. Let's see. Amy says, I hope you get to go. The ears are very immersive. So, Abby, have you been to Universal in the Harry Potter area at Universal?
I went once. I think it was last May, maybe we went. Mm-hmm. It was nice. We went to both. We got the tickets that we could ride the Hogwarts Express over to Hogsmeade from the Diagon Alley. So it was a pretty cool experience and everything. Nice.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I wanted to go back to try the new Hagrid ride because we never got a chance to ride that, and that seemed pretty interesting. So,
everyone is raving about that ride. Megan, if you want a spoiler, go and look up Hagrid's ride on YouTube and get yourself a spoiler because it looks really intense. Actually, I don't even want a spoiler because I don't think you're allowed to film on the ride.
I don't think you are either.
When it first came out, there was a virtual ride on Facebook, and so I watched that, and it looked very interesting.
Yeah, okay, so you've caught a glimpse of it. Yeah, I don't a lot of I don't ride rides. I can't ride a lot of the rides because just of health issues, but the aesthetics of being in the park and being able to see everything would just be enough for me. I would just be floored. And I know my kids would love the rides. I think they would. My daughter, I know Hagrid's ride, she'd probably drag my husband on it about at least 50 times if I know her correctly. Not this one, the other one. This one's afraid of Tower of Terror, right, Madeline? Yeah, she hates it. She won't even let me mention it. She runs and hides. It's evil, she said. I don't know if you heard her. Yeah. So she's slightly traumatized by Tower of Terror. But I mean, it's just, I don't know, just what I've seen on videos. I feel like the atmosphere would just be a place where I could just go and sit somewhere and just stare. It's like the details of everything.
The details are so interesting.
Yeah, so that would be incredible. Danny, no, I don't think I asked a question. Did I ask a question? I don't even remember if I did. Sorry, Danny.
Oh, it was I think it was who else was in the stream with us. But I think Amy answered that.
Oh, that's right. No, we got our answer, Danny. So yeah. I mean, I lost my train of thought again. It's nothing new for me under the sun. But yeah, so all right. I'm gonna attempt to wrap this up now that poor Abby has just come on for like 5 minutes.
It's okay.
But Abby, if ever again, if you ever want to join us again, there we go. Words are hard. If you ever want to join us again, I'm always putting the link in. I can even message you beforehand and send you a link. Usually we have Dougie with us. He is just got some stuff to deal with. And so I don't know if and when he'll be back, but you guys we're always trying to invite people on the stream just to get, the more people, the merrier for me to have conversation going. I enjoy it. So, yeah. So, and that goes for anybody else that, ever wants to jump on and talk Harry Potter. That's fine. And then once Harry Potter books, which will be a long ways away because we're splitting the books up into 2-week pots so as to just make it a little bit easier because it's kind of hard to fit all the content that I want to in an hour. So, but I just want to promote a couple of channels that I know are going on today. So today is Sunday. If, like I said before, if you don't know, check out the livestream.com to look at what the lineup is for today. I think Mama Mouse is still streaming. Myers and the Mouse looks like she's still streaming. And then I know 4:00, Kenzie and Russ Stapleton and I think your parents, Abby, right?
Yeah, I think it's Nerd Talk.
Okay. Nerd Talk is at 4:00. I don't know on whose channel, so if somebody knows, can put the link in for Nerd Talk at 4:00 Eastern time. That would be great. And after that, I think it's Pepper Tree Villa goes live at 6 p.m. Eastern time with their PTV 3D, which they do like the Daily Dose of Disney, which is, this day in history, in Disney history, what happened on this day, in Disney history. And then after that, I think Amy is going to go live with trivia at some point. Amy, do you have a time of when you are going to do trivia? Because it is Sundays and Tuesdays, right, is when you typically do it. And so, funny side note, Amy, this morning I woke up and I said to myself, oh my goodness, I missed Amy's trivia last night, thinking that today was Wednesday and last night was Tuesday night for when she does her late night trivia. And then I remembered today was Sunday and I was much more calm, but it was just like, it was a real trip for me for a second there. But anyway, so I think Amy is probably gonna, last week she went live with trivia before PTV, so I'm not sure what she's up to. So I'm gonna try to play catch up. I can't even keep up with my own chat, guys. 9 of you watching, and I can't even keep up with that. This is bad.
So my dad said that Nerd Talk is on Tracy Glenn's channel. Tracy
Glenn. Okay, perfect. Nerd Talk with Boomer Nerd. Thanks, Danny. And Amy, if you want to post your link either to your channel or if you got a trivia stream ready, then you could do that too. But yeah, so please stop poking me in the head. And so then it's the whole great lineup of, I think, Dean from the Life Place, and then Dole Whip Dad with his JizTube, and then his creator talk with the Lynn Project at 10:30. So it's a great lineup. Why do I even bother having those wands behind me? I don't know. Check out all the channels. Check out theliveplace.com. If you guys don't know, if you're watching the replay, thank you so much for watching. I missed your trivia, Danny. When did I miss your trivia? Oh, this is not good. This is so bad.
You're in trouble.
I think I missed a trivia. Okay. I need a calendar with like all these. Well, that's why I have the live place, but I think I just need a printout. That's what I need to do, is print out all the list of the schedule for each day. All right, so I think this is where we will come to an end. Check out all the amazing channels, like I said, on theliveplace.com. Thank you guys so much for joining. Abby, thank you for popping in.
No problem.
I appreciate it.
Fun.
I'm
It was
glad
fun.
I'm glad. And I'm glad you're talking in the chat too. Oh, Dances with Goofy Adventures is having Texas trivia at 6 p.m. So if you don't know Dances with Goofy Adventures, go check out her channel too. And I think Amy just post the link for Amy posted the link for something or another.
I think Griswold family posted
Okay.
AJC's link.
There it is. I'm getting my names mixed up. Okay. I'm gonna end the stream before I start rambling. Good to see you guys next week. Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets
Stay
part 2.
healthy.
Stay healthy, as Madeline just said. Stay healthy, stay well, stay blessed. Know that you are loved and appreciated.
Be good.
Thank you so much. And be good. Yeah, be good.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.